Welcome to The Hypnotist, the show that gives you inside access to cutting-edge hypnosis with real clients facing genuine issues. Brought to you by the hypnotherapist demanded by celebrities, CEOs, and even royalty, Adam Cox. These recordings took place live from Adam's clinic in London's world-famous Harley Street. This podcast features powerful hypnosis, so do not listen while driving or operating machinery. This recording is not suitable for those with epilepsy or severe mental health issues. So, get yourself comfortable and enjoy today's episode of The Hypnotist.
Hi, it's Adam here, and in this episode of The Hypnotist, you're going to be listening to a hypnosis session created for a client that felt that lines were blurry between a relationship between them and a close family member. And actually, with the benefit of hindsight, they would never have agreed to the relationship as it was. But these things can kind of creep to a place where you could agree certain things, and unless things are really clearly communicated, people can have different ideas about what should be fair and what should be reasonable and what should be how things go and any kind of expectations attached to that. And this was the case because in this particular client's situation, it was the family relationship, but then there was also the relationship linked to this other thing. And they used this phrase, tangled. And recently, I'm in a new studio, and I've been trying to get old cables for this new studio, and they're an absolute mess. And this kind of visual image of tangled cables, for me, was really raw in my mind because, of course, it's difficult to do anything if everything's tangled. So this metaphor of tangled cables is used in their sessions, plus there's a nested loop of about 3 levels deep. For those people that appreciate stories within stories, you'll get that in this session. But really what was going to help them untangle the tangles was going to be to have a clear conversation communicating that the status quo, the way things have been going, wasn't going to continue in that way anymore. Not in a threatening way, but just in a pragmatic way, that actually they value that relationship too much to risk it by having this messy thing going alongside it. And in the session that led up to the hypnosis, we clearly identified 4 different alternatives to the status quo, which were all way better than the tangled mess that was the status quo. So that element of knowing that you have options makes it a lot easier to then communicate, and then you find that compromise. But if you can't find the compromise, you can still do that thing that isn't dependent on the other person. That still untangles the tangles. What can get in front of this and stop people from doing this kind of thing is this feeling of risking jeopardizing a relationship, or feeling that they're going to upset, or that it's going to be confrontational, or there's going to be conflict. But if there is a dynamic already that's leading to those kind of conflicts and misunderstandings, then if nothing changes, you can expect more of the same. And if you don't like more of the same, then a change is required. And it's probably going to be you that instigates that change, because most people avoid confrontation and conflict, and therefore, messy things continue. So if you're interested in resolving what might be a messy dynamic, maybe with a friend or a partner or a family member, I think you'll benefit from this session, because it doesn't tell you how to do or what to do, just makes you resolute that something needs to be done and you've got the resources to do it. Obviously, that's quite metaphorical, quite open. If you feel like something more targeted and bespoke for you would be beneficial, there will be a link in the show notes or on my website, adamcox.co.uk, where you can schedule that free consultation call. For now, though, this session may be helpful for you, in which case find a quiet, comfortable place where you won't be disturbed, relax, and enjoy the session. Take a deep breath in. And as you breathe in a resourceful feeling of calm and relaxation. And as you exhale, feel a wonderful sense of release, as it feels like tension, stress and worries are just diluting to nothingness. I want you to use the power of your imagination to imagine a perfect beach, soft white sands, clear waters on a sunny day. Perhaps you could imagine a hammock or a sun lounger, and just imagine how relaxed you would feel to be resting and relaxing under blue skies and feeling a wonderful sensation of deep relaxation. And I want you to recall the last time that you drifted off into a light nap by the side of the sea on a beach. Imagine being in a similar feeling where you're drifting off, hearing the gentle breaking of the waves, but drifting off into a relaxing, calm sleep. And in that sleep, I wonder if you could imagine what it would feel like that in that dream, you're in a forest with green trees, the fresh, clean air of nature. And just imagine walking through those woods towards a pleasant stream. As you find your way down to that stream, I want you to walk to a place where the stream has a current, and maybe you can see the ripples in the water, a tiny whirlpool, those currents that happen when running water hits a rock, a stone, or an old log. And just imagine a tiny whirlpool and stare into the whirlpool as you breathe in and breathe out even deeper, feeling your body drift off into a state of pure relaxation. I want you to get a sense that the whirlpool is taking your attention inwards. I want you to get a sense that you can fixate your eye on the swirling shape of that tiny whirlpool. As you breathe in, imagine breathing in a feeling of relaxation and resourcefulness. And as you exhale, feel a wonderful sense that tension is leaving your body in that outward breath. The deeper you breathe, the more relaxed you become. And the more relaxed you become, the deeper you breathe. So your mind feels like that whirlpool, a whirlpool taking you deeper and deeper and deeper down into your subconscious mind. And while it's in that place, I want you to imagine perhaps a big container full of old electric cables, plug sockets, chargers, data cables. Just see a mess of entanglement. And I want you to feel that while it's so entangled, it becomes almost impossible to find what you need and do what you want with the thing you need in that moment. I want you to get a sense that there's a part of your life that feels like this box of old cables. It feels tangled when what you want is organization and clarity. I want you to get a sense that there is a part of you that knows what to do to untangle the tangles. I want you to feel that the tangled mess is the status quo. And if you continue as things are, things will continue to be tangled. But I want you to decide now that the one thing you won't accept in your future is that entanglement. I want you to get a sense that there are multiple ways that you can untangle the tangles, all of which require communication, clear communication, but the kind of communication that comes from a place of strength, not weakness. There is no begging bowl or pleading, just clear communication that things can't continue as they are, and therefore the future will be different from the past. The only question will be, in which way will it be different? If your unconscious mind feels like it's activating the very resources needed to communicate in a way to untangle the tangles, let me know by nodding your head. And as your body acknowledges a resolution to make a change, you are unlocking those resources like confidence, empowerment, inner strength. Sometimes it takes courage, bravery, to have difficult conversations. But just decide that doing nothing continues the tangles. In fact, once a certain level of tanglement is there, the tangles only ever get tighter, unless a decision is made to untangle the tangles. Your mind is now awakened to a place where change will take place. I want you to search deep within and find perhaps a memory or a time where you felt brimming with confidence, the kind of confidence that enabled you to communicate what you wanted. Maybe you were empathetic, but you were also clear, confident and strong. Your tonality had none of those upward inflections of uncertainty. It had the downward inflections. No doubt, certainty. No questions, statements. And feel that you are unlocking that level of confidence, a level of empowerment to do whatever is necessary to untangle the tangles. And I want you to imagine the near future where you observe yourself doing just that, how you would communicate it. And maybe it would be in a public place. So those kind of strategies that can work, arguing, guilt, shouting. It can't happen in a public environment, so just imagine the right context. See and hear yourself communicating in the tone that you want. Respectful yet direct. Just observe. You've reconciled all of the worst possible outcomes and now are doing what you can to navigate towards a win-win outcome. An outcome that's good for you, of course, but also good for this relationship that you value. You're looking for a win-win outcome. Even if the win-win outcome is that things go a different way, dramatically different from how they have gone in the past. Being willing to do whatever is necessary will help you reach a point of empowered compromise. I want you to imagine all different scenarios. Imagine the scenario where your words are being listened to and acknowledged with complete respect and validation. But also imagine a different scenario where the other person feels what you're asking is unreasonable or unfair, that the other person feels hurt, that you've broken some kind of unwritten or unsaid agreement. It doesn't matter what they do. I want you to fixate your attention on how you handle that situation. You are still calm, confident, empowered. Whatever they do is about them. How you communicate is about you. So test out all the different scenarios and see in every case you are confident and empowered, willing to explore whatever route moves you forward. And as you see those scenarios and you feel empowered that whatever happens, you will do what is right to give you clarity for your future, you imagine that old messy box of cables suddenly and magically becoming organized. All the cables become organized and labeled, so every cable is clear what it is and what it does. And feel that as you see the cables become untangled, feel a weight lifting off your shoulders. Feel a sense that the future is now less foggy, less blurry, and more clear than ever before. And then imagine drifting into one of many different futures. I want you to see the future where you get exactly what you hoped you would get, and see that it all worked out. And then visit the future where you didn't get exactly what you wanted. Maybe things took more time, but in the end it still all worked out fine. I want you to see that in all of these futures, the relationship is better than it was before. Clear and untangled. Time spent together is not based on expectations, obligations, or entitlement. It's only based on a mutual desire to do that. It comes from a place of wanting it, not being obliged to do it. And now that you've seen more desirable futures You find yourself there by the side of a stream, staring into that whirlpool, feeling that you're just days or weeks away from untangling the tangles, and in doing so, giving clarity to your future. So imagine breathing in and breathing out, climbing up from the stream, up through the woods. And as you get, perhaps, to the higher levels of the woods, you find yourself lying on a beach, under blue skies and sunshine, hearing the gentle breaking of the waves, realizing that you've been on a journey in your imagination, thoughts within thoughts, ideas within ideas, dreams within dreams, but now it's time to return to the here and now as you take a deep breath in through your nose and out through your nose. Wiggle your fingers and wiggle your toes, connect fully into the present moment as I now count from 1 to 10 to awaken you. Starting to count. 1, 2, 3, waking up. 4, 5, 6, more alert. 7, 8, open your eyes, open your eyes. 9, 10, wide awake, wide awake, wide awake.
Thank you for listening to The Hypnotist with Adam Cox, the show that gives you inside access to cutting-edge hypnosis with real clients facing genuine issues. To automatically receive the latest episodes, please subscribe. If you'd like to support the show, please share this episode with just one friend you think it could help. And if this episode helped you, please leave us a 5-star review.